Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man 2. First Mega Man game I ever beat when I was like 4 as a kid, so it's always held a special place in my heart. And we're back. I've been doing random orders for who I fight, trying my best not to die, although I've already failed at that. Because I can do no death runs in normal, difficult mode, maybe not. Anyways, random order. I've got my eyes closed, not that you guys can tell. And who am I at? Oh, Woodman, nope. Alright, and Metal Man. Alright. Bubble Man, okay. Who's this gonna be? Okay, Crash Man. Oh, I love Crash Man. Crash Man is actually one of my favorites. I love the music in the stage. I like the design of how he looks. And I like the way you fight him too. Stage, I guess, is a little annoying, but it's one of the vertical levels. Like, this is the second vertical level they've made in Mega Man, with the first one being Elect Man from Mega Man 1, where the level's very, very vertically oriented, as opposed to the other levels, which have a lot of a horizontal design to them, or maybe a little more maze-like of a structure. So, I don't know, it's cool for that reason, that's different, but something I want to talk about is Akira Kitamura's design philosophy. And if you guys haven't seen it, I made a video for my channel, for my main channel, Who Made Mega Man? And in it, I kind of addressed the fact that a lot of people think that Keiji Inafune was the creator of Mega Man, when he wasn't. This is a big misconception that was actually perpetrated by G4 back in the day, because they made a whole episode called, or they had a whole show called Icons, where they talk about the creators of games, and in it they credit Keiji Inafune as the creator. And I don't know if this was the spawn of it, but it definitely seems like ever since then, everyone's thought that Keiji Inafune was the creator of Mega Man, which then went on to him, you know, Mighty Number 9 and all that stuff, which people didn't like, and it was frustrating me, and I wish I made this video before Mighty Number 9, or around the time of the Kickstarter, just because it was frustrating me that people were giving to his Kickstarter thinking he was the creator of Mega Man when he's not. So what he did do was this pixel sprite that I'm playing as right now, of Mega Man, was actually already created by Akira Kitamura and the programmer in the game, whose name I'm blanking on, or I just honestly just don't remember. But Akira Kitamura, who's the game planner and the actual creator of Mega Man, the design of him, had created this sprite along with the programmer, where they laid on top of each other two different sprites. So if you look at the sprite that I'm playing as right now, the blue on blue and the black is all one sprite. And then where the face is actually just a black sprite. So what they did, they gave him this face, because you could only have a certain number of colors on each sprite, is they put another sprite on top of it that's just the face, so they could add that peach. And that made it so this character of Mega Man stood out compared to a lot of other games at the time, because of this cool thing that they did that other people weren't doing, where they had a sprite on top of a sprite to create a full character, or with multiple colors. And that was just because something that the programmer was able to do that most programmers wouldn't have been able to do. And because there's not a lot happening on the screen. Originally, Akira Kitamura wanted this game to be more of a shoot-'em-up game, and as he was making it, or as he was like doing stuff with the programmer like had a lot of safety checks in his programming, which made the game run a little bit slower. And because of that, they couldn't put all this shit on the screen that you had to fight and shoot off. Oh damn, I'm not gonna be able to get yet another E. Damn it! Anyways, oh, that sucks. Because there's one level that I really want the E's at. This part's really annoying to me, by the way. I fucking hate this part of the level, because to me it feels like there's just no way to not get hit sometimes by those birds and their fucking eggs. And I just think it's shitty game design. Anyways, with Akira Kitamura, basically because they didn't have all this shoot 'em up stuff going on and all these things happening on the screen, they could play around with the sprites more because they had the extra space for it. Oh, I can get these, just the extra life up there that I can't get. Oh, whoops. Sure, I'll save. Anyways, I don't think I have anything for, yeah. Anyways, that's what gave them the space to try to make that with the sprite. Holy shit, I got it. I'm just gonna get this while I'm up there. So yeah, it's definitely, obviously it's possible to do this. It's really hard, but obviously possible. Alright, well, I'm still gonna get that E, because the E is actually more important. And go back down and get hurt a bunch more. Thanks, guys, for this great bit of game design right here. So anyways, back to Akira Kitamura game design philosophies for Mega Man. So around the time of Mega Man 2, well, even Mega Man 1, I should say. Mega Man 2 is when he started implementing it a bit better, as he himself has stated. He came up with a bunch of philosophies for Mega Man 2, and basically, in order to create Mega Man, he locked himself up in a room for like hours and hours at a time in a day, and would just play various games and study why certain games have like certain caps where people stop playing it and don't enjoy it as much, and what works and doesn't work. And what he started to find was like games like Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts. You know what game I'm talking about? Sure. Old Capcom game that was that's notoriously hard. Games like that, he would check into it, and what he found was that that there were all these difficulty caps. So it wasn't that the game itself was necessarily overly hard, but people had this impression that the game was super difficult because there were these caps and parts where the game just got so hard that it was frustrating. So what he decided to do to try to counteract that, to make it so people had a better impression of the game but still maintain difficulty and challenge, was make it so he would do things by waves of 3, where he'd have the first enemy be like kind of the learning enemy, where you learn how to fight that enemy. Second enemy was the hard one. That was the most difficult one. And then the third enemy is slightly easier than the second one. Still harder than the first, but slightly easier than the second one. So that way you learn by the first enemy how to fight the enemy, right? So like you learn its patterns, you learn what you have to do. When you face the second one, cool, you know how to do it, and you can have that difficult one, but then you end it with an easier one so the game doesn't feel as difficult. Even though you did have that challenge, since you ended on something easier, hopefully the game would feel a little less difficult. Now that said, the Mega Man games are notoriously difficult and challenging, so I don't know if he really won that battle. But I mean, I don't know, I don't think they're as hard as a lot of other NES games, honestly, especially stuff like Ninja Gaiden and fucking Ghouls and Goblins. And just like, there's a lot of other NES shit that's way harder. I think Mega Man is just a better game, so people know it better. I don't know, obviously I was able to beat it as a kid, but I'm also love platform games, and I think I'm pretty good at them, so maybe that's part of why. So you can see the pattern for Crash Man. Basically, every time you shoot, he jumps up in the air, and then he'll throw his Crash Bomb at you wherever you're at. So it's a bit of a long battle in difficult mode. He'd be dead way long ago if I was playing normal mode. But yeah, it's just like, as long as you know that pattern, if you jump when you're in midair and shoot at him, you'll always hit him because he jumps into your Mega Buster. And then as long as you're running away, you'll always avoid that Crash Bomb. So that's the way to deal with a Crash Man right there. Right there, as we still don't get another item because of the way I'm playing this shit. Oh wait, C, get equipped with... Oh, it's gonna be Crash Bomb. Cool, glad I have all these cool items I can use. Alright, let's go to another one, and... Who am I at? Airman, oh, gonna get item 2 for this. Cool. Airman's another level that I don't love, because it's another patience game thing. Well, actually, it was when I was a kid. I thought it was a patience thing with these stupid things, which, by the way, those drills I also thought of as corn when I was a kid, because I'm just that dumb of a kid. Oh yeah, these stupid guys who come out of the ears aren't in the fucking normal mode either, I don't think. I hate those guys. Just the drill heads, that's it. Anyways, it's another thing that, like, because of the whole patience game of it, kind of annoyed me, or gets on my nerves. I don't like waiting around for shit when I'm like this. Sometimes, I mean, I guess it depends on what you're doing. That specific one I don't like. When I was a kid, I also always, well, at first when I was a little kid, I struggled with this part a lot. And I finally learned how to jump and shoot all the time. Specifically this guy, who you need to jump to attack in order to be able to get on it at the right time. But yeah, as long as you get that guy, the rest of it's fine. Or I guess this guy too, you want to jump and attack. I like the idea of it though, with the clouds and everything that are floating. Like, actually, like, that part I'm fine with. It was just hard for me as a kid. It's just, like I said, those guys who have the ear things that look like drills to childhood me. That's the part. You know, it's funny, I'm complaining about this stuff, and it's out of love, alright? I don't want you to, like, misinterpret this and think I don't like the game. This is one of my favorite games of all time and game series of all time, as I said. So don't misinterpret me when I'm, like, you know, have these minor complaints about the game. Actually, so speaking of the Akira Kitamura stuff, this is going to be a good example, I think, for that game design philosophy. So right here, this is the easy one of those air guys who blows it for you. So a lot of it's also in the stage design, right? So that stage design, I'm pretty safe right there, because I only get blown backwards if I jump up, and that's going to blow me away, but I'll land on this and be pretty safe. So that's the first one that you face of those guys. So now here's going to be the second one. Fuck, I almost died there. Jesus, I did not see that fucking bird up there. You die. Oh my god. Alright. So the second one, a little more dangerous. And actually, I think the third one might... Oh, okay, well, there's the third one who was supposed to be the easier one again. Like, the slightly easier one was up there, but he kind of glitched out, so, you know, don't even worry about it, alright? But that third one was definitely easier than the second one, is my point. First one had the kind of easy stage design. Second one had the hardest stage design. Not that's that hard. And the third one had a slightly easier than the second one stage design. So here we are, Airmang. I'm probably gonna die because I think Airman is just like luck. The fact that you can't slide against Airman is kind of shit because it's just like there's no way to dodge out of the way of some of this stuff some of the times. Because sliding didn't get introduced until Mega Man 3. So, I guess Airman's another one where I feel like it's a little more luck-based. Like, look, like how I don't know how I was supposed to not get hit during that part. This one I can, but anyways, whatever. I mean, if you haven't full health, you're fine against him. Just those are unavoidable attacks, man. I'm not about that life. Even though he's totally doable. So I'm a terrible Let's Player, and I have no idea when I started the recording for this episode, what time it is. But I'm going to say, because I was talking about game design stuff in the Akira Kitamura a bunch, I'm going to say that I think it's been 10 minutes or something like that, so I think it's time. But for this one, I finally got item 2. And item 2 is essentially your Rush Dog. This is what would be Rush Jet before Rush was invented. So, actually, another Akira Kitamura random fact, who, like I said, created Mega Man 1 and... Oh, did I not say, by the way, that sprite that I was going on about, that Akira Kitamura created with the programmer, Keiji Inafune created the artwork of Mega Man based on that sprite. So Keiji Inafune did create the way that Mega Man looks and the cartoon look of him and everything that's on the boxes and all that. He did make that. It's just that he didn't design the game. That was what I really wanted to get to. And because of that, I lost my train of thought I was saying with Akira Kitamura. So I'm going to end this, and hopefully next episode I'll remember. So come watch next episode where hopefully I remember and don't lose my train of thought because there's so many things I'm talking about with Akira Kitamura. See you guys next episode. Later.